Hello, and welcome to Cyber Talks presented by EC Council University. My name is David Oxenhandler. I'm the Vice President at EC Council University. While my colleague and presenter for today sets up for today's Cyber Talk, allow me to run you through what EC Council University, or ECCU, is all about. EC Council University is an accredited and 100% online university that provides degrees in cybersecurity at the graduate and undergraduate levels. The university was founded to advance higher education in cybersecurity. The academic discipline has its core roots in certified ethical hacking, a concept pioneered by the university's founders. The university was founded with the belief that cybersecurity professionals must not only have skills and techniques, but they must be educated to step into leadership and management roles in their organizations. This led to the establishment of the Master of Science and Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity degrees that we offer today. The university's programs are accredited by DEAC, the Distance Education Accrediting Commission. DEAC is listed by the U.S. Department of Education as a recognized accrediting agency, as well as an acknowledged member of the Council of Higher Education, or CHIA. Our faculty is actively practicing their profession in the field, serving as mentors for students with new real-life experience as examples. The students at ECCU get a hands-on advanced security education that they would get to use while in the field. This helps them hit the ground running and will help them become a functional cybersecurity professional from day one of their employment. So, if you would like to advance your career in cybersecurity and become a cybersecurity leader of tomorrow, then check out our degree programs at eccu.edu. Now I'd like to hand over this session's moderator to my colleague, who will help you cruise through the rest of the session.
Hi all, and welcome to EC Council University Presents Cyber Talks, and this is our Career Gurus webinar series. Today's webinar is being taken by Dr. Jayati Roy, who is one of the topmost leaders when it comes to online learning. My name is Preetama, and I will be your host for today. So do let me know if you can hear me well, or in case you're facing any audio or video challenges, kindly let me know in the chat section or in the questions tab, or log out and log into the session again. Thank you. And we will be starting the webinar in the next 10 minutes. My compliments and greetings to all the participants who have been early. Please be advised that the session starts 10 minutes from now, and we will shortly be joined by our speaker. Do let me know if you can hear me well, or if you have any questions towards EC Council University or for our speaker, Dr. Jayati Roy. Kindly write it in your questions tab. Also, a big announcement for everybody. We have stopped Quizzer app quiz for all the upcoming webinars for Cyber Talks. And we have two criterias where we are giving because of through which we will be giving out the certificate of attendance. The first criteria is that you have to sit for the whole session, that is the whole 1 hour 15 minutes that the webinar is happening. Secondly, there in the attendees thank you mail that will be going to you 1 hour after the session, there will be a survey form link there. Kindly fill in that survey form and give correct answers to the 3 multiple choice questions which has been given to us by our speaker, and which will be based on this particular webinar, and only if you give the correct answers you will be receiving a certificate of attendance from EC Council University. Thank you so much. Hi all. So we have just been joined by our speaker, Dr. Jayati Roy.
Unmute করলাম.
Yeah, hi Jayati ma'am.
Hello. Hi.
Hi ma'am. Hi ma'am, how are you?
Oh, I'm in a great mood. All ready to go.
Great. Thank you ma'am. Thank you so much. So
Thank you.
ma'am, before we start the session, would you like to share your as you have been in the online industry and in the education industry for such a long time, would you like to share your experience and what is going on in the education industry from an online perspective and everything to our audiences here today?
Okay, it's a great honor to be able to share this and welcome everybody from all over the world. I am absolutely, totally excited. And congratulations for taking your time to be here with me. And this is a warm embrace to all of you. So welcome to online learning. This has actually been my passion, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, not for 3 years, but about 30 years. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, don't ask my age, but I have been so passionate about it. 30 years ago, when I wanted to do my PhD, well, my PhD is about 20 years, but about 10 years before that, I always wondered, how could all of us move ahead with education and just not come every day and sit down in a class, leave our families, leave our jobs, leave everything? Because I had done numerous courses on my own. I done a law degree with the University of London. I did my ICSA. I did so many other courses, accounting, and I wondered, how can I ever do something where there won't be all these boundaries of place and time? And that's why, to go back a long way, when I came back from the United States after having finished my master's in Buffalo in New York, I touched down in Kuala Lumpur, and a week later, I took the train to Singapore and wanted to find a professor who could supervise me in online learning. And then it began this journey. And everybody told me, what is this? This is a fly-by-night thing. No. Go and do something in education. Yes, it's education. It's one of the best methods. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are with EC Council. This is again a fantastic online university. Don't miss this opportunity to sign up for your courses. And cybersecurity is the way ahead. And online learning gives you that platform. Yes, it is a new culture, not for me, not for many of us who started many years ago. And I say today, if you can picture me holding a flag and running down the lane, I'm saying that my day has come. Our days have come. And the reason why I've decided to speak on this platform is because I feel we have all got to be converted to this new idea for some of us, not for some of us, but for this wonderful platform that gives us the opportunity, and every one of us, this opportunity to learn. And learning will remove barriers. Learning will open opportunities. Learning is the way forward. And I would say that I have therefore researched, I have spoken all over the world, from Washington to Hong Kong as a visiting professor, and I've shared with everyone that this is the way forward. But what happened? An unknown creature suddenly came upon us. And what did we do? We had to close down our schools, our universities. We had to go and lock ourselves down in our homes or wherever we were. And then everybody says, what option do we have? Yes, if you can put it in inverted commas, we were in prison. Imprisoned, what do you do then? So I am grateful that this platform of online learning has opened doors, has welcomed us all back into that domain of learning, of knowledge, of education. And it is going to be the new norm, the way ahead. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all smiling, right? And let us hold the torch in our hands, that torch of learning that is going to burn forever because the doors have been unlocked. I don't want to over exaggerate it, but I'm sure you can hear the excitement in my voice because I have felt that passion, because I am only where I am today because I was able to do a lot of things because of online learning, because of blended learning. Yes, there was face-to-face learning at sometimes, but online learning is the platform, is the way ahead. Well, if you have some questions for me, I would love to take them at the end of the session. But, let me just, I hope time permits. But, it involved more and more learning when I went on to it. I had to learn about technology. I had to learn about instructional design. As someone, because of this, I am an NLP trained practitioner. I went into hypnotherapy, into neuroscience. So now the emotional, mental well-being of people, they are also things that I consider when I design courses, when I look into online learning. I look into the frameworks of learning. I look at theories of learning. I look into the psychology of learning and how these are critical and how these pedantically underscore whatever we do. And therefore, it is just not a one-off thing. It's just not one person doing it. It brings us into a community, into a team. Right now, I'm speaking here, but you can imagine the number of people who are monitoring this entire webinar. And that's how it is. We are social beings. In the same way, you're not going to be the only learner or the only teacher. And we are blessed. We are again blessed because we have the community, the human community involved in online learning. Well, this is one other aspect. I'm again actually overwhelmed by developments in Industry 4.0 and what the doors that have been unlocked. Now, I can only impress upon everybody. Online learning is something that will open more and more and more doors. When I speak to teachers, I said, develop original materials. Well, you can get stuff off videos of YouTube, but why don't you learn your own? Why don't you make your own videos? Well, that took me onto a journey of learning about videos, about editing videos, about putting in subtitles. Which one can you do free? Which one is an app on your mobile? Which one is what do you do on your laptop? So it is a never-ending journey. And I say this, so long as you keep on learning, you grow younger. Well, I'm giving you a secret for anti-aging as well. Well, look on the bright side. Who doesn't want to become younger? Learn, become younger, become wealthier in knowledge. And this is what online learning does. It is a gift. It is a marvelous gift given to us from this universe because it brings together holistically a number of areas, and the learner is so empowered. He can learn anywhere, anytime, right? You can be in Starbucks, you can be at home, you can be anywhere.
Hi, ma'am.
Right? Yes. So with that, let's see if I have anything that you would really love. And Pritima, are we ready to roll?
Yes, we are ready to roll, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Hi all. So before we start today's session, I would like to say a few words about our speaker. Dr. Jayati Roy is a professor at Help University in Kuala Lumpur, and she has a checkered career in both academia and the corporate sector for many decades. As an educator, trainer, coach, and writer, she has had a passion for distance learning and online learning that has spawned more than that has spawned for more than 3 decades. The topic that she is speaking today is impact of online learning during lockdown, and the key takeaways that we hope our audiences will get from this session are: what are the benefits of online learning, what is industry 4.0 and how does it affect online learning, the current state of online learning, and the learning styles and theories in a digital age. And with this, I'm giving the floor to Dr. Jayati Roy to start with the session.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this session where I'll be speaking on online learning and its impact on students. Well, let me take this opportunity to thank EC Council University for providing this wonderful platform for me to share my background and my experience in the area of online learning and its impact on students. I'm really very, very excited. As you will hear from me later, I've spent nearly 30 years in this area. And, I've spent it on research and writing and promoting it. So for those of you who are here with me today, thank you for your confidence, not just in me, but in also in believing that online learning will be the new norm, the new future for all of us in education and in other areas of work, and also because it is a phenomenon that we all cannot ignore. Well, so let me begin with a wonderful quotation from somebody I've admired all my life, Gandhiji, who says, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow, and learn as if you were to live forever." Well, I'm in the learning business. I've not stopped learning, and I've sincerely believed in what he says. I use the present tense because I think it is something that will live on forever. And I believe that we should learn as if we will live forever, that there will be no tomorrow, just today. So let me put a little twist to it and say, you will live forever, listen carefully, you will live forever if you do not let learning to die. Well, uh, one has to live with this spirit as well as to have it and believe in it physically, spiritually, mentally, and then you will understand why I believe that we have to keep on learning as if we were to live forever, because that's what lifelong learning is all about. And why today technology has enabled us to pursue and move into a seamless and borderless world. My objective today is to talk to you about a few areas in online learning and how it impacts students. Firstly, I will look at the current state of online learning. I think I should not just generalize, but this is a period of the pandemic caused by the COVID-19. And so what has the marvel of online learning done for this period? And I will look at the benefits of online learning. And one cannot ignore Industry 4.0 and what it has done to enable online learning. So therefore, I will also talk about online learning and its impact on the impact of online Industry 4.0 and its impact on online learning. being someone who has been in academia for so many years, for me, success in online learning has to look into learning styles and theories of learning, because online learning is not a new phenomenon, but it's a new phenomenon for a lot of people. I hope you agree with me, especially in this digital age. So let me get on to the very first objective that I said I would speak about, and that would be the current state of online learning during the pandemic. So here are some shocking statistics, or statistics that are significant. Worldwide, we see that around 19 million cases of infection have been recorded, or even more, because, you know, I looked at it on the 6th of October. More than 700 deaths have occurred. This is definitely the rhetoric of a crisis. This is not normal time. This is not a normal time. For me, this is a time of stress. This is a time of disruption. This is a time of breakdown of normal life and learning. And it is a phenomenon that we have never seen before. As a result of which, about 60% of the world's student population is affected by this national feature of lockdowns. And it is a startling fact that more than 1 billion students and learners have been affected worldwide. Look at this figure, more than 50%, actually close to about 68% of total enrolled learners have been affected by this horrible attack on the entire world, as a result of which about 144 countrywide closures have occurred in schools and institutions of higher learning. I have a wonderful graph here. Thanks to the UNESCO, we can already see about how more than 1 billion students who have been affected, and this is the staggering impact of COVID-19 on global education. In the United States, more than 200 universities have cancelled face-to-face, or what they call in-person classes. And in the Commonwealth, more than 574 million students have been affected. Now, what is this effect on that has happened? We see that it has widened learning inequities, and it has hurt vulnerable children and youth disproportionately. So youth and learners are actually the victims. Now, I have made this out. I've always been in the area of schools, and this is what I imagined. So I have put this out for you. Look at this little boy. He says, "Oh my God, it's locked down. What am I going to do? No classes. I have to be stuck at home. No friends. This is going to be a period of stress." So what does he do? He says he needs an angel. I need an angel. Can an angel come and help me? Yes, an angel has come, ladies and gentlemen. This is the angel I'm going to speak to you about. Remote learning, online learning. And we see that it is the catalyst of the online learning platform that is actually our savior. Especially, as I keep on saying, we have been affected by a tsunami-like attack worldwide. Now, what's another impact is that online learning is going to be seeing a new norm where we can learn anywhere, at any time, and at our own convenience. Here you see a wonderful lady at home, and she's saying, "I'm online." I'm sure very often you would be speaking to people and they would say, you know, I'm busy, or you couldn't get me because I've been online. This is a new feature. So therefore, let's look at the benefits of online learning. What are the benefits? Why is online learning the answer to COVID-19? Why? Because one of the greatest benefits is that it helps us to build a more resilient education system for the future. We need something that's going to be foolproof. This reminds me of a time when there were prisoners who were locked up in the prison who didn't have any opportunity to move on in bettering their lives. And online learning, which was distance learning in the past and even today, which has helped them move on in their lives. So providing access to education is one of the benefits of online learning, and I hope you will agree. To me, it is the democratization of education, giving everybody a chance, no matter who you are, whatever your age is, where you come from, where you live, right? And this, one of the greatest benefits now that we've seen in this COVID period is that families have not been disrupted. I've seen women who can study from home, who can look after their children at the same time, all right? And more than anything else, they can keep their jobs. This is wonderful. You don't have to sacrifice everything just to get an education. Furthermore, yeah, I have a picture here for you. I hope it's clear. You see a woman in her living with her children all around with a laptop. Isn't this a familiar picture? So what it shows is that there's uninterrupted learning across the world with the use of technology, and that this is why we call online learning flexible learning. We can learn at our own pace, and we have our choice of study. So basically, one of the greatest benefits is that it is all about the transformation of education. Online learning has facilitated that, has enabled that, and the opportunities that would be made available. You can see here for EC Council University, also providing one of the greatest opportunities available because of their online platform and the opportunities that they provide to the world. So before I go on, I just wanted to clarify a few terms. One of which is distance learning, online learning. But you know, I would like to share my passion about online learning very quickly, and if I have more time, I'll elaborate later on. I decided to do my PhD in this area because I had done my law degree as a distance learner, and I always wondered, what if I could have this opportunity? Furthermore, you know, I also did some of other courses online, and I wondered why with 3 children, can't we give the same type of opportunities to everyone? So I launched myself into studies and research that focused on online learning. And more so, my area of research was on the learner. What makes a learner studying on his own remotely successful? That was the area of my research. And if you're interested, you can always get in touch with me and I can talk to you about that. But and so here we are. You know, this is a picture to show you that online learning has actually become a buzzword. Now, this little cartoon here says that, you know, everybody has to take the same test, all right? So this is something that where you have a fixed learning format. But with online learning, there's so much of flexibility that, you know, it is something that will fit into everybody's timeline, everybody's capability, and everybody's ability. So I'd say that distance learning, you know, I'd mentioned that I would like to clear this fact very quickly. Distance learning is basically an umbrella term. It's and online learning is one of those aspects of distance learning. You know, you can get distance learning, meaning that you study at a distance, but you would need internet access. It could be via radio, it could be via correspondence. You have University of the Air in Japan using radio, so that's distance learning. But what is online learning? I hope this will clarify some of your doubts. Online learning actually here is the use of the internet. You must have internet to be an online learner. There is actually virtual distance and there must be a virtual platform. In the same context, we often talk about synchronous learning. Synchronous learning means learning online at the same time, like we're doing right now, like FaceTime. But asynchronous learning means that you don't learn at the same time. There is materials are uploaded and then you can go up and pace yourself in learning. This is also another form of online learning. On the other hand, I'm sure you've heard of e-learning. E-learning actually describes the courses that you take. In the past, you used to have DVD, but right now we have web-based platforms. For example, Skype, you have Zoom, you have Teams, go to meetings, completely online, and it uses electronic technology. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, I cleared some confusion if you've had anything, any questions regarding this. Now, as I said, I would also talk to you about Industry 4.0 and its impact on online learning. So what is Industry 4.0? 4.0 actually is a platform that focuses heavily on interconnectivity, especially with the Internet of Things. You have a more comprehensive, interlinked, and holistic platform for learning. It provides a platform where you have access to real-time data, automation, machine learning, big data, and I'm sure all of you know cyber-physical systems. All right, this may be interesting for you. We see that in the pre-COVID period, there was an estimate of nearly 18 billion US dollars that were spent on edtech investments. This is forecasted to increase to 350 billion by 2025. That's how big this area of online learning is. And whether it is, we are talking about language apps, virtual tutoring, or video conferencing, or online learning software, this is as a result of the impact of online learning. Keeping to the same topic now, just to talk to you about and rounding up this section on Industry 4.0. Right now, we are communicating only because of the ability of web-based tools. All right, so we have these platforms, for example, Zoom and GoToMeetings, as I explained just now, Google Hangouts, Skype, or Webex. In addition to this, you need a learning management system. To me, very simply, a learning management system is like a campus, all right? But it all involves learning, unlearning, and relearning, because there's so much that's happening. Lots of things are changing every day, all right? Look at this picture. This would not have been possible 10 years ago. Today, it is something because everybody is practically online. So here we are, a picture. But I'm not there and you're not there. This is something that I've put up. All right, so for me now, how do we look at the measure of success of online learning and its impact? For me, a tool that I use is satisfaction. I will very quickly run through a few areas of past research, and if we have time, we'll go deeper into it. If not, I will just go through it very, very generally. Past research to study satisfaction actually looked at content, learner and content interaction, like an interface, all right? People, in the past, I worked with it, online learning for 30 years, and I know we just focus on content all the time. So they wanted to study whether content actually led to satisfaction. Another area was always the learner's psychological or emotional state. Are you ready to study? Also, the demographic and cultural readiness. You know, are people in China more willing to learn it? Or what about people in Ethiopia? What about people in Canada or Malaysia or India? So these were areas. Also, I'm sure you'll be very excited to know this, that we always wondered whether students were ready. Were they ready? But in the time of the pandemic, readiness was not a question. Everybody went on board because we had no choice. Well, in the past, they also they studied learner and instructor interactions, quality of teaching and feedback. All right. So some of these areas you can see here, for example, Zuiban, Wang, and Cook, they found that students evaluated their instructors at the end of a program based on the communication factor. Did professors communicate effectively with them? Were they encouraged in their learning? Were the courses organized effectively? All right. Did the professors show interest in the students' learning? Well, because you're on a virtual platform, students always ask this question. All right. Furthermore, if you looked at a model developed by Marsh and Roche way back in 1997, I'm giving you this date to show you that this is nothing new. Perceptions of satisfaction were very, very important. All right, like learning, enthusiasm, rapport, organization, interaction, coverage, and assessment. Again, the question of audio feedback. Oh, we love audio, like the way you're listening to me now, right? It's all audio. Students, take heed. Those of you who are also lecturers here and content developers, students always loved audio feedback, right? So there's another research here by Isay All, another one by Key and Kwok. They looked into 5 elements. Here again, they looked into learners and learning, learner autonomy, independent learning, all right? And they also looked into technology competence. Again, they looked into perceptions. Now let me move on to a philosophy that I really love, and Socrates said, I have no answers, only questions. All right. I think this is what teachers do always. They love to ask questions. And I believe that we can only learn if we ask questions. So here I will touch again something that I promised you, that we will look into learning styles and theories in a digital age. Why is this important when I'm speaking about online learning and its impact? Why? Because for us who design materials, we have to look into the juxtaposition of our materials and the styles of our learners. What sort of learners are they? All right. Here, we look into the epistemologies. Actually, it refers to a branch of philosophy that investigates the origin, nature, methods, and limits of human knowledge. So course designers have to be cognizant of these theories. We do not have all that much time now, but it will be good to know that these theories that speak about objectivism, constructivism, connectivism, and faith-based theories have to become a part of our courses, to underscore our courses, all right? Again, we have to think about online pedagogy, all right? We have to look into computer-based learning. We have to look at how lecturers get on with lectures. We have to look at whether we are just putting up PowerPoint slides, or are these materials that are up there favorable to the learning and facilitating learning. Again, we look at problem-based learning. Today, there are so many MOOCs that are available. We have to look into that, and we have to also look at scholasticism and madrasas. What about learning theories and styles and how they affect the impact that we have? Again, from old schools of behaviorism, I remember Skinner and his work, cognitivism and thinking and learning styles, constructivism, networking and theology. So for those of you who have not thought about this, when you have all your wonderful content, please remember that for online learning to be effective, some of these areas have to be brought into the mainstream of instructional design. So what I would like to say is that the pandemic has actually been a blessing. It has been the catalyst that has brought worldwide recognition. I know housewives who now know the word online. My children are online, they are online, yes? So it's also about perception and readiness. And this is what I think will move us on to make this a platform which will be the new mantra for the years to come. This will be our mantra: online learning, distance learning, remote learning. Well, I'm an NLP fad. I believe and love and teach in areas of online learning and mind science. And I say that people have all the resources they need for change and success. There are so many online tools now that can be used. We have to use them. I use Kahoot, for example. There's no end of help online. We can get that. But we have to have a positive mindset to say, we can make it, it will happen, and online learning is the way forward. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been wonderful for this little opportunity that I have. And I look forward to any questions that you may have. Thank you and God bless you all. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Jayati ma'am. That was a wonderful presentation, and I'm sure it was worth everybody's time because we got to learn a lot about online learning and how it can be, how it can affect, like, in a good way to all of us. And I am sure in this current situation that we are in, this is serious. This kind of learning is seriously going to help us, and it is not stopping our education. So, ma'am, if I have, so ma'am, before we start the Q&A session, I have a small question for all the audiences here. So, as you know, that this session was all about online learning, and all the cybersecurity enthusiasts out there, if you are interested to pursue an online degree program from EC Council University, please let us know in this poll, which is on your screen right now. So, Jayati ma'am, can we start with the Q&A session? Because a lot of questions are pouring in.
Oh, okay, no worries. I'm all ready.
Great, great. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, the first question is, online learning keeps us updating with new trends and technology. So how do we keep ourselves updated about these trends and technology in this case?
Oh, this is a wonderful question. This is something I also ask myself. There are many ways in which you can get updated. Depends on where you are and where you're learning. And this brings me to the question of whether you need a teacher or not. Nobody can learn without a teacher. Trust me, some may call me old-fashioned, but I always say this, that we always have to sit on the shoulders of giants. Anthony Robbins always says that in all his NLP trainings. The child follows his mother, right? So from the time we were small, we had somebody to help us. Now we have tools. I tell people YouTube is a channel. You can get anything out there. Google is something you can get out there. So you have different tools, you have different teachers. I always look for people who have already done work in that area. So I discuss with them, I ask them to help me. I go for courses all the time. And if you do not upgrade yourself, especially at a time when things are changing so fast, you are immediately blackballed. You are just out of the picture. So get on to teachers, get on to internet tools, get on to IT tools, get on to people who have done that. You'll be surprised. Some of the young kids know so much more than us. I found the young children so fast. I was talking to somebody's child recently and he said, I talked to him about YouTube. He ran up to me and said, Auntie, do you know the Beast? I said, who is the Beast? And he said, he got 3 million viewers straight away. And I said, oh, really? And I looked at it and I said, oh, wow, that's the Beast. I got it. He eats a pizza that's a mile long. So there's no end to learning. I hope some of you are smiling. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I'm telling you about, right? The doors are open. So if you ask me where and how, if you are out there, the teachers will come to you, inverted commas. They don't have to be the old-fashioned gurus, as we call them in the Indian languages, seated there, no sages under the tree. They're available in books. The most fantastic thing is that you can learn online and you can get whatever you want online. Yes, you need a computer or you need a mobile. Just get that tool, look for the answers, find the right people, find the channels to information, and voila, you will be there and magic will happen. But what's more important about this is that you have to learn to use it. Just knowing the name, knowing how you use it is not the end of the game. Internalizing it, practicing it, using it, it's like learning a new word. If you just copy that word and put it in your journal, it dies there. But like I tell my students, let the words walk with you. Give them life. Write them in a book or use them in your essays or, in your blogs, wherever it is. Breathe life into them. Only then will it have meaning. And that's exactly what it is. All that I've given you in my discussion today will have to be put into practice. And only then will you find online learning pulsating within you and becoming a part of your DNA. And that's how I think we are going to move on. But unless you upgrade, you go from version 1 to version 2 to version 3. But if you are in version 2 and people are in version 10, you know where you are, right? You see the red signal right above your head. A little story here. That long time ago, we started using the microwaves. And my mother refused to use the microwave because she was so used to using the wok and the pans. And she said, no, it's not good, until she realized that there was such a shortcut method, even though you may have some negative things about the microwave, but you can use it. But unless you put in your bowl in there or your chapati in there and it's all hardened, but when it comes out, wow, it's all soft and wonderful, and you wonder, wow, this is magic. Why didn't I learn it? And that's exactly the story with online learning. Whoever asked me the question, I hope I've answered you. Pritima, any more questions for me?
Yes, ma'am. There are a lot, and we will be having this session for the Q&A session for the next 10 minutes because there are a lot.
Okay. So I cannot be too long on each question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So, ma'am, the next question is, in this period of pandemic, as everybody is moving into online and in this online process, how do we keep ourselves prepared and motivated?
I was expecting this question a long time ago. Well, how do you keep yourself motivated? Very often, I think it's your self-management. You have to make sure if you're not learning it synchronously, that you are in the best possible mood to study, that you're happy to be going on to get onto that platform, right? That you are able to use the resources that you need. You make sure that you are well dressed. Don't come there in your pajamas, all tired. Make sure you have eaten a wonderful meal, right? Make sure you have the right gadgets. Make sure you have the right lighting. You have the right environment. Don't go and sit down there when you have all the noise. I always say during the pandemic, give yourself a specific time where you have time and space for yourself. For teachers, I always tell them, make sure there is interaction. For students to be motivated, have interaction with your materials and with whoever is teaching you. It's not that something falls off the sky. But another way to be motivated is to have a friend that you can discuss this with. If your project is something that involves project work with other people, discuss with other people, research with other people, right? So if you are a very visual learner, then make notes that are visual, make flow charts, then make mind maps, use different colors. If you're auditory, sing a song, right? Listen to it over and over again. For those of you who are very auditory, whatever I'm saying will resonate with you. My voice, the tone of my voice, the pitch, the stress, the emotion, the energy, all this will affect you. The lighting that you have a glass of water, take breaks. Yes. Educational psychology says that nobody can focus for more than 45 minutes when you are studying. I remember when I was doing my law degree as an external student of the University of London 20 or more years ago. I used to get up. I was in a library doing my final revision. After about 45 minutes, a little more than half an hour, I'll get out of the library, go walk around the block, look at some of the shops and come back in. It's a new start. Every time you give a break to your brain, it's like you going to sleep and getting up and getting new energy as though you have opened a new page. So take breaks. Take breaks, walk around, take a glass of water, listen to some music or do something else. If you need to go and make an omelette in 10 minutes, make that and come back. And then there is a start. So, or if you're watching something or you're following something synchronously and you cannot get up, listen, focus, and ask yourself, am I doing something that I love? And if you love something, you will be motivated. And that, I think, is the greatest thing. Love is the greatest thing. I tell teachers, love your content, love your students. Then you wouldn't mind working late and getting the best materials out. So I'm talking to you because I love you all. All right, Pritima, next question.
Yes, ma'am. So the next question is that the person says that he's from an IT sector and he really wants to know that how can online learning bring a good impact in getting good opportunities in his career.
Oh, you are fantastic, whoever you are. Let me give you a big hug. You are in IT, you have advantages over a lot of other people who are just learning literature and just doing they don't have much of an exposure. You may have done coding, you may know so many other things. Get onto the bandwagon, follow the trail where you know what is required. Do some detective work. You in India, become the CBI. Even Scotland in England becomes Scotland Yard. Even America be FBI, right? Find out first. 30% of writing is research. So in the same way, find out all the top people. What qualifications did they have? What experience did they have? What courses did they do? Find out. Do you now have to go and learn something in IoT or virtual intelligence? What are the specific softwares you must know? Again, as I said earlier, go for a course in that, use it, apply it, and then tell people, look here, I can do this. Have that confidence. Have that confidence that you are good enough to move on. And IT is the platform. You are very, very lucky. So whoever you are, this is my advice to you. You have a handicap already, as they say in golf. You already have an advantage. Use that and keep on learning. Find the right courses. The other courses you can do for fun, for motivation. You can go and learn how to cook or make Italian food, but it doesn't matter. But do whatever you do to make sure that you will reach the skies in time to come. So as Zig Ziglar says, see you on top, right? Okay, do I have more time, Prithima?
Yes, ma'am. We have 5-6 more minutes. So,
Okay.
ma'am, the next question is that the course materials when it comes for online learning is same as that of a physical learning. So, how can we adapt physical classroom to a virtual classroom with the same material?
Actually, there are no differences. The only thing, you can't go forward and touch your teacher, right? You can't physically touch your teacher. But the body language is so pronounced there. So teachers also have to make sure that they are aware of being seen there, and they are the major tools, right, for interacting. And the classroom is about interaction, and that is provided. I keep saying that Industry 4.0 has given us that platform. On a normal webinar, you can see people, you can see your teacher, you can see who is there. So it does not mean that you don't have a classroom. You can go on a virtual tour of a university now. Go on a virtual tour of EC Council and look at how fabulous they are. It's true. It's marvelous. Do you have to take the flight and go all the way to Albuquerque? No. It's there for you. So that's an advantage. We have a gift on a platter. So I see no difference. It is our mindset. It is our mindset, you know. So change that mindset to say, what a wonderful gift. I say that because, you know, we have been given tools of communication, of critical thinking, of community, of clarity, right? All this together will help us move on. And the online platform is a tool. So why not use it? It is an advantage. I've told you my story. With 3 children, with a job, the only way I could come up, years of hard work, yes. I said I would want to be a professor someday. I'll get recognized. A lot of work, a lot of teaching, a lot of writing, a lot of publications. So at the end of the day, what happened? I fell in love with writing. I now write short stories. I write poetry. I fell in love with technology. So I'm now going on to do digital marketing. I'm going on to learn e-commerce, right? But you know what? This knowledge cannot be stolen from me. Neither can it be stolen for you. So ladies and gentlemen, I implore that you get on to the online learning bandwagon and do whatever it takes to move on in your career, move on in your lives, and love whatever you're doing. For that is a prayer and a mantra that I would love to share with you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question is that this person is saying that, first of all, she's saying that there are some really good tips given in this webinar regarding online learning. It would be great if you can elaborate a bit more about the learning theories and styles and the online pedagogy.
Yes, it is a very, I wish I could, talk a lot about it. But what I want to say, because I hardly have time, is this. It is just not taking your content, converting it to a PowerPoint, getting some quizzes with Kahoot and putting it up. Matching the content with the learning styles of students. Are they visual learners? Are they auditory learners? Are they kinesthetic learners? So design your materials to fit different learning styles. All right? Have a video, for example, for people who are auditory. Have flow charts and mind maps with colors for those people who are visual. I know when I did my law degree, my first thing was always drawing diagrams and flow charts because I always wanted a big picture. But if somebody came and just dictated notes to me, I would know nothing. I want the big picture. And then from the very general, I would go down to the specifics. So that's how you have to, for example, go down to the learning styles of students, match that. For the kinesthetic students who cannot sit still, who are sitting and right now fiddling with their pens and twisting this and twisting that and shaking their legs. Are you there? Now you would like a project-based paper. You like a hands-on thing. And you say, oh my God, I hope she stops talking soon. I will. I have a couple of minutes. That's it. Now, in the area of philosophy of learning, depends on, are you teaching biology? Are you teaching literature? Are you teaching IT? It depends on, so what sort, are you going to use behaviorism as a method? Also, this is very important in your testing, the way you do assessments. I've had no time to talk about it. What sort of testing do you do? If you're IT-based testing, what sort of tests do you do? All right, higher order testing, lower order testing. Okay, to be motivated, we also give open book questions at the end of any learning involves a test. So higher order, you have open book. But if it's open book, it doesn't mean at the last minute you're going to open, you won't even know what page. In open book testing, we don't give direct questions. We give applied, implied kind of questions where you have to think, you have to synthesize, you have to evaluate, you have to write, you have to organize your logic. How do you write the beginning? How do you link your sentences? How do you write your paragraphs? How do you write your conclusion? How do you cause effect writing? How can there be cohesion? All of this will come in, right? So again, it is about how you get prepared. How do you use constructivism? How do you construct knowledge? How do you use that as a basis, for example, in the design of your materials? Okay, if you need to learn more, go on. And, there's enough materials on that. You can find a lot of professors who talk about that. You can get lots and lots of ideas from the materials that are available on the net as well. Okay, I don't have much time, so this is what I would want to say. Again, if you are doing religious-based materials, again, what are the religious philosophies and theories that underpin this kind of learning? Everything would have theories that underscore our work. Now, use that in the design of your materials. Well, I hope I've given a very short summary. Pritima, am I at the end of the session?
Almost, ma'am. So there is one question. It's the last question that we are taking for the session, and the question is that hello, the person is saying that we don't know about what the future stands for us now at this moment, but will this continue if the pandemic ends also, like online learning, and will it create a new thinking direction to go with this current scenario?
Oh yes. Oh yes. And I say it for the third time, oh yes. Please don't think the minute the country says lockdown is over. In my university, everybody is online until next year. All right. We don't want to go out and then get caught again. So, but the way I see, when things get better, there will be a form of blended learning. That would be a most wonderful area. But sometimes it's not possible. If you're in Japan and you want to take up something that is in America, we have the best solution. That's online learning. Online learning is the way forward. There's no escape. Ladies and gentlemen, if you say, I don't believe in a laptop, you have to get one. You can work with your mobiles. There's what we call mobile learning as well. But technology will have to be the way forward. And online learning will become a part of us. Will become a part of us. A friend of mine from overseas who used to teach in Malaysia for many years went back. And he called me up and he said, you know, I'm going to come back and I want to teach. I said, wonderful. You're one of the best teachers we've had. But you know what, sir? You have to come and teach online. He nearly had a heart attack. Huh? Online? I can't. I have all my notes. He used to boast that he could stand and speak for 2 hours or 5 hours without anything. Those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. And for the younger people, it's your time. Online learning is the way forward. It's going to be our best friend. It's going to be a part of us. And what can I say? Embrace it with all passion and all love. And that's the way forward. Yes. Pratibha,
Yes, thank you so
I
much,
think we've
ma'am.
come to an end. Yes.
So thank you so much, ma'am, again for taking the time out to take this session with us. And with this, we have reached the end of today's session with Dr. Jayati Roy. And I would again like to thank her for enlightening us with this much of knowledge about online learning and why is it so important to be a part of this. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pritima, for this great honor of being invited by EC Council University. And I wish everybody a wonderful future and to embrace online learning with all passion and all energy. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So guys, we have reached the end of the session, and if you want to know more about, and we have a lot of upcoming new webinars coming for the month of September, and you can go and check them out on our website, that is eccu.edu/cybertalk. Check your chat section. I already have given the link for that link for the website where all the webinars and their details are updated. As I said about the certificate of attendance, it will be going to you 5 to 7 days after the event, and a mail will be going to all of you just 1 hour after the session is over. So kindly fill in our survey form, and those who have attended the webinar more than 1 hour, one hour, and will be filling up the survey forms, will be getting the certificate of will be getting our certificate of attendance. Also, in the certificate of attendance, kindly mention your GTW registered mail ID, which is a required field. Kindly let us know that so that we know where to send the certificate of attendance. Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead, and have a great day ahead, guys, and stay safe.